Hello everyone, today's session is going to be about the passive voice. Okay, passive voice in just the simple tenses, which is the simple present, simple past, and simple future. Okay, so the most important thing that we have to know is a simple present have a to be verb, which is am, are, and is, as it is shown in the picture. And a simple past has to be, which is was, and were. And we have future, and same thing. The rule of the future, it might be applied on the same thing with models, okay, which is may, could, should, must, and every model have the same rule. Okay, has the same rule of the future simple, which is will. Okay, so this is the most important thing that you should know, that passive voice, it is always about a subject and a verb and an object, which is always turned into a subject become an agent, and a verb it becomes a verb, which is always correct, the verb, and an object, which is in the active form, it becomes a subject in the passive form. This is the most important thing. And already we have to know that the verb in the active sentence is always transformed into the past participle of it. Okay, so whenever you have a sentence in a passive voice, you have to find the verb firstly, and secondly, you find out the tense of that verb, and then you put to be in that tense of that verb, and then you put the past participle of the verb in the active sentence to the passive form. Alright, so the first example here we have the present simple. Okay, present simple, the first thing that you have to know is what is to be of the present simple, which is am, are, and is. These auxiliaries, they must be preceded by, followed by a verb, and that verb must be in a past participle, and then comes the last part, which is the agent, and we add by, and the agent is always the subject, as we mentioned before. Alright, so the first example here we have a present simple. Okay, the company, we have a sentence here, the company releases new products every year. Okay, the company releases new products every year. This is the active form of the sentence. You figure out that this is the verb and this is the object, and the object is always after the verb, and the subject is always before the verb. So the object becomes a subject, and then it comes the verb here. The verb is in present simple, so we need verb to be in a present simple, which is are, because we have here the products, we have the plural. Okay, products are, and then the past participle of the verb who was here in the present simple, it is transformed into the past participle, and then comes the agent, we add by, and we write the subject which was in the active form, the company, which is the agent. So new products are released by the company. Alright, this is for the present simple. Now we move into the past simple. The past simple, we have verb to be, which is was and were, plus the verb, and that verb must be in the past participle. Okay, and then comes the agent, which is the subject who was in the active form. We have an example here, the mailman delivered the letters. Okay, the mailman delivered the letter. The letter here is an object becomes a subject. Okay, and the verb stays in its place, and the subject of the active form becomes an agent. Alright, so we have here delivered. Delivered is a verb which is conjugated into the simple past. And since we have a verb in a simple past in the active form, then we come and put verb to be in a simple past, which is was. The letter was. If we had the letters, then we put were. Okay, the letter was, and then the past participle of the verb. Since it ends with ed, then the past participle of it, it's the same, delivered, and then comes the agent by the mailman. Okay, which is the subject of the active form. And this is about the past simple. Now comes the part of the future simple. And the future simple, as I said before, okay, we have the model will of the future plus be. Okay, this be is used as an auxiliary so as to keep the verb in the infinitive, as the rule comes that the models must be followed by an infinitive, and then comes the verb who was next to it in the active form into the past participle of it, and then comes the agent at the end of the sentence. The workers will finish the bridge next year. The workers will finish. Okay, between will and finish we need that to be. Okay, we need to be here, and then keep it in the infinitive, and then put the verb who is next to will into the past participle of it. Then put the by and add the subject who was in the active form. The bridge will be built by the workers next year. Okay, So here we have another one. The bridge will be built by the workers next year. Okay? So what you have to know is that simple present is always concerning about a to be in a simple present plus the verb who was in the active form must be transformed into the past participle in the passive form. Simple past, you need was and were, and then the verb in the past participle. Simple future, or all the models, must be followed by be, and then put the verb here in the past participle. This is an introduction for the course. Okay, now we move into this one. Okay, more about the simple present. We have here the company releases new product. Okay, we have here the company, as we mentioned before in the examples. The company here is a subject, releases is the verb, and new product is an object. So the subject becomes an agent, and the verb stays in its place, and then the object becomes a subject. So we saw the sentence with the object, which is new products. It's already given. Okay, for baccalaureate students, it's already given. Okay, so the subject here is new products. New products. We have here releases, which is in simple present. So we need verb to be in a simple present, and then we put the verb in a past participle. Okay, we didn't finish yet. Okay, now we put by. Okay, and then we bring the subject of the active form to become an agent in the passive form. Okay, we have here a schematic. This schematic, it is about how to solve this sentence. Okay, how to answer it. We have here the verb. You have to find the verb, and then write the verb, which is releases. Then find the tense of that verb, which is simple present. Okay, in simple present, you need to be in simple present, and then you need the past participle of that verb you found in the beginning. Okay, and then put by and add the agent. Alright? Now about the simple past. Same thing. We have the rule, subject, plus was and were, plus the past participle of the verb and the agent. We have here another example. The manager hired a new employer yesterday. The manager hired a new employer yesterday. So the verb here is hired. Okay, so we have the verb is hired, and then we need to find the tense of that verb, which is the simple past. And then when you find the simple past, you need to be in a simple past, which is was and were. And then that verb that you found in the beginning of the active form in a simple past, you must transform it into the past participle of it. Then it comes by, okay, and add the agent, which is the subject in the first beginning. Alright? This is for the past simple. So when it comes, it becomes a new employer was hired by the manager. Now let's move to the simple future, okay, or the models. Okay, the models here are can, could, will, would, must, should, may, might, need, and there are other models. Okay, the rule here, it is a model, whatever model you have here, plus verb to be. It says in infinitive. Okay, don't change it. Plus the verb in the past participle. Then add the agent at the end of the sentence. We have here two examples. An example with the future, and an example with a model. Okay, the referee will play back the VAR. The referee will play back the VAR. Will play here is the verb. So between will and play, we need be. Okay? And this verb must be in the past participle. So it becomes the VAR, the VAR will be played back by the referee. Another one, the students should complete the tasks. Okay? The students should complete the tasks. So the tasks, so we have here model should plus the verb, which is an infinitive in the active form. Then we need something here between should and complete, which is verb to be in infinitive, and then we transform the verb complete into the past participle of it, and it comes the agent at the end of the sentence, which is already a subject in the active form. Okay? These are the rules, and these are the examples. Now let's move and put all these rules into these examples here, and try to solve some problems. Okay? So first one, let's just zoom in. Okay? So rewrite the sentences as suggested, okay? Or rewrite the sentences in a passive form. So in the baccalaureate exam, you will have one of the sentences. So for today's session is going to be only about the simples, which is simple present, simple past, and simple future, okay? So first one, someone built this house 200 years ago. Someone built this house 200 years ago. We have here built, okay? This built, this verb built is already in the simple past. So what do we need here? We need a verb to be in a simple past. So this house, so we're going to say even was or were. Okay, so which one is the correct one? Which is was. The. Okay, the house was built. Okay, the past participle, so built is built. This house, okay, this house 200 years ago. Okay, and then you continue the sentence by someone. Okay, this someone here is the agent. And these are the verbs. Okay, let's move to the next one. And a thief stole my purse. A thief stole my purse. My purse, okay, the object becomes a subject. Okay, my purse. Now we have the verb stole, which is in simple past. Stole, it means was or were. Okay, and then we move stole into the past participle of it. So my purse was, okay, which is a singular. Was, it was, stole. Okay, the past participle of stole is stolen by a thief. Okay, so this is it. So stole, it becomes was stolen, and then it becomes and then comes the agent. Okay, at the end by the thief. Okay, the police will arrest the robbers. Here we have a model and we have the infinitive next to it. Okay, so the model and the infinitive. So we need what? We need something here which is verb to be in infinitive. So the robbers will be, and then this one is in the infinitive in the active form because of the model before it, and then here it becomes what? Past participle. So arrest becomes arrested by who? By the police. Next one. They produce cars in this factory. They produce cars in this factory. We have here cars. Okay, cars is the object, then it becomes a subject. We have here the verb produce. They produce. Okay, which is in the simple present. So we need what? Are, is. Okay, verb to be in a simple present. So the cars here, cars, it is plural. Then we need are. Okay, so produce is the verb in simple present. So we need here cars are what? Produced. Okay, produced in the past participle always. Listen, when you move from the active form to the passive form to the passive form, it is always in the past participle of the verbs. Okay, no matter what it was in the beginning. Okay, simple present, simple past, future, past perfect. All you need is to move the verbs into the past participle of it. Okay, we haven't finished here yet. Then we need the agent by. So here they, it becomes what? It becomes them. Okay, it becomes them. Next one. They serve breakfast at 8 o'clock every day. Serve is in present simple. Okay, breakfast is served. Okay, is served by who? By they, like the previous one. By them. Okay, by them. Next one. People throw away tons of rubbish every day. Tons of rubbish. Okay, we have here the verb. Where's the verb? Throw. Okay, the verb throw is in simple present. Tons of rubbish is in plural, so we need are. Okay, are. So the past participle of throw is thrown. Okay, away by people. Next one. We have they make coffee in Brazil. Coffee, it's it. So here we have make. Make is what? Is the verb. The verb make is in present simple. So they make coffee in Brazil. Coffee is made in Brazil. We haven't finished yet. By who? By them. Okay? Is made here in a passive form. Okay? Since it is in a simple present, so we need the verb to be in a simple present, and then bring the verb into the past participle in a passive form. Next one. We have here someone stole Jim's bike last night. Jim's bike, here's an object, becomes a subject. Stole is the verb steal in a simple past. So we need to find out the verb to be in a simple past, which is was and were, and then bring this verb into the past participle of it. And then the agent, which is the subject in the active form. Okay, so what do we do here? Jim's bike, what? Was or were? It is was. And steal in the past participle is stolen. By who? By someone last night. Okay, so steal becomes stolen. All right, these are the examples, and I hope that you have enjoyed the session, and that's it. Good luck.